Now, Mixed Telematics reported an 11% increase in interim revenue to 351 million rand. That's while its subscribers increased by 19% year over year, bringing its subscribers to over 479,000. Stefan Joselowitz, the CEO at Mixed Telematics, joins us now to unpack the numbers further. Thank you for making the time to join us. Impressive numbers, subscription growth, 19%. Revenue is also quite high. It certainly seems that the company is doing well, but maybe let's take into consideration what keeps you up at night. It's really easy to talk about the good stuff when the numbers are this great, but what keeps you awake?
Well, we are running a global business, and of course we've got multiple challenges that we have to deal with. The South African economy is probably close to the top of that list. So we have, although we've grown nicely in this market, it's not at the rate that we were planning for. So it's behind our plan, and that's certainly impacted on our numbers. But we've got to adjust and adapt to changing demands. Our Middle East region has had some turmoil in the region. It's not unusual to us. We've been operating there for a long time, but again, it's adapting your plan to these kind of changing circumstances.
Staying within those challenges before I bring Rowan in, just taking a look at some of those headwinds that you say that you're facing, in particular in the South African market. Has this forced you to really penetrate more into the African continent and look north of the borders here?
It's not a matter of forcing us, because penetrating further north into Africa has been a long-term part of our strategy. So it's not like we've suddenly woken up to that. We've been doing it for a while. But the top of our strategy is to globalize our business, and right now Africa, and most of that is South Africa, represents about 50% of our business, and with all of our other regions making up the other 50%. And we'd like to, with time, see our dependence on our African business lessen somewhat. And it's just pure risk management. And of course, the growth opportunities in some of our other markets, like the Americas, like Europe, for fleet management, the more sophisticated solutions that we offer, we see great opportunities to grow our business in that market, while of course not losing focus on our home market being South Africa. So.
Stefan, the South African market's quite developed. There are quite a few strong players. Would you say that as a South African business you have a competitive advantage in terms of operating this market that you can use to penetrate those markets like the US, which is obviously a massive opportunity?
Yeah, we think we can demonstrate that. So certainly your point is valid, that the South African industry generally, business industry, were early adopters of sophisticated kind of technology, driven originally off security concerns, but it's developed far more into efficiency management, and that's a big focus of our business now. And of course, we can leverage those advantages. We've been doing it for 18 years, which is really longer than most of our global competitors. So we've been around longer than most, and we are leveraging those advantages to hopefully our benefit. And although we're slightly behind our plan as far as this year is concerned, still strong growth. All of our regions have shown growth. Our South African business, despite the headwind, has grown subscribers at around the 20% mark. So we're generally happy with it.
Stefan, we'll get into your strategy in terms of how to catch up with some of the targets that you say you have in your plan. But I picked up an interesting report today by the ABI, and they're predicting very strong growth and demand in the telematics space. What does your market intelligence tell you, and how's your strategy at adopting to the fact that there is this projection that growth is really going to accelerate from 2015 onwards?
Yeah, so the data, both external data and our own internal intelligence, is consistent, that the opportunities are really mind-blowing, if I can use that as a term. Latest research that I looked at, I think from ABI, was our big focus for us is commercial vehicles. So if we just look globally at commercial vehicles, just over 300 million commercial vehicles, penetration rate is really just single digit for our kind of technology. The estimate is that that's likely to more than double over the next 3 to 4 years in terms of penetration rate. So if you work out that number in terms of a potential runway of opportunity, it is enormous. Of course.
Are you going to take advantage of this projected growth?
Well, we have built a global business, so we've certainly got direct operations in 7 different countries at the moment, including Africa, Middle East, Europe, United States, Brazil, Australia, and we service customers in 120 different countries through a dealer partner network where where we've got some third-party distributors that are trained and equipped to support our product. So a big advantage we've got is to service multinational fleets, which is very few of our competitors can demonstrate the same ability to service a large global multinational in many countries at the same time. So it's one of our key advantages.
Unfortunately, we've come to the end of this interview, but thank you for making the time, and congratulations again on a fairly very strong showing today.
Thank you again for having me.
Of course, that was the CEO of Mixed Telematics.